Get your typing fingers ready because it's another Shelf of Shame update video, and I fully expect many of you, or each and every one of you, to comment and tell me what I need to play next and why you are so disappointed in me. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised this time, at least in comparison to past videos. This is my Shelf of Shame. To start off, I want to mention that there are a couple of games behind me that we haven't played, but that were sent to us by publishers and we're getting around to it and things like that, so I don't want to talk about them yet. Everything else is going to be shown on the table, except for the big boys back there that you see that I did not feel like getting out. And we're going to go ahead and start off with that. Asterisk Too Many Bones, kinda. I mentioned this last video, but I have played it, but I haven't really played it. I still haven't had another chance to play it since I last spoke about it, and I really desperately want to, but we don't need to talk too much about that one. And the other big one that you'll see right behind me is the Descent, Legends of the Dark. This is the third iteration of Descent, but it's not Descent 3, it's a different formula. It uses an very app-heavy game, and I am really excited. I've already built the terrain for it. I've already painted 5 miniatures, I think, 4 of the 6 hero miniatures, and I think they turned out really well. Really excited to table it. Just haven't had a chance. Honestly, and this is really sad, since I came back from Halifax when we visited with Foster the Meeple, I've played a grand total of 6 physical board games, and that's been over a month. But now that those two are out of the way, let's talk about all these games that I can pull in front of you. We're gonna start with the 2 biggest boys that I have next to me. One of these I just recently acquired for a good deal. I'm not sure when it's gonna get played though, and that is Kemet. This is a troops on a map game that is one of the, what do you want to call it? One of the main ones. I don't know. Kemet is up there among the other legends as Blood Rage and Inish as a main troops on a map game. Now, it's upside down. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of playing this one, and again, I just got it. I'm not sure when I will play it, but I snagged it for 25 bucks, so pretty good deal, and I do think I want to try it, even though I've heard some very mixed things about it. I don't really count this one too much against me, because again, just got it. Another one that I'm not gonna count against me too much, I'm gonna make sure to pull it up right side up for you this time, is CLANK Acquisitions Incorporated. This is CLANK Legacy. I've had this one for a long time, but just haven't had the chance to play a legacy game, unfortunately, especially with the way things are now in the pandemic. I haven't been able to have a group of people around, and honestly, quite frankly, I don't have people in town that I think would want to play that. If it were to get played, it would be me, Danielle, Doolin, and Emily. Most of my friends have moved away. I'm sure I could get people together, but it isn't one that I have a core group that I think we can play consistently. That is the big boys out of the way, but that is CLANK Legacy and Kemet. This is Blitz Bowl, the younger brother of Blood Bowl, the super popular Warhammer football game, I guess, is what you want to call it. These are some miniatures, and you are basically dueling in football, fighting, playing. I don't know exactly how it works. That's why it's on the Shelf of Shame. This is the streamlined version of Blood Bowl, though I haven't had a chance to play that either. But if I know me, if it's easier to get to the table and if it has less time requirements and effort to play it and find a group for it, I'm all about it. I know Doolin is really excited about this as well. We need to sit down and play because both of us are extremely interested in the theme, the miniatures, and all that. So this is going to get played with Doolin and I. It's just a matter of when. Next on the list is the little tiny game Innovation by Carl Chudik. I don't know how to say his last name, but this is Innovation by ASMADI. This is a little tiny box with a bunch of cards. He has drank that water 4 times in the past 10 minutes. And he's so loud, and he drinks for like 10 minutes straight. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but 30 seconds plus. He is a thirsty boy. This is Innovation. This is going to be like a civilization game in a deck. It's hard to explain. I know that Jamie and Jeff from Foster the Meeple have played it and really quite like it. I know it's a game that requires a lot of table space despite the small box. You're placing cards and building a civilization and essentially getting game-breaking powers and abilities that can turn the tides in your favor. This is one that I know Christina and Kellen from Board Game Barrage are huge fans of, like #1 game of all time fans of. One that I'd really like to play. It's just a little scary, and I don't think it's hard to learn, but it's just a little daunting for me, and I don't particularly know why, and I do want to play it eventually, but for now, haven't had the chance to do so. Next on the list is a game that we purchased while we were in Halifax at the Boardroom Game Cafe, and this is Arboretum by Renegade Game Studios. I know that Doolin has played this game, so he'll probably be able to teach it to Danielle and I quite quickly, but Danielle just liked the art and the theme of it, and she actually saw it in Doolin's Top 5 Fall Games video, and that's what intrigued her enough to go out and purchase it at the Boardroom Game Cafe. Another one I'm excited about, but I don't know if this game's gonna be for me based off what I know about it, but we'll have to see once I actually get to it and I'm able to play it. One that I hope that Doolin can teach us in 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll be on our way. Next is one that we did not get around to playing while I was with Jeff and Jamie. I was really hoping we would, and that is Alice is Missing, the silent RPG. This is a game about a missing girl, a missing teenager, Alice, who's gone, disappeared, and her group of friends is trying to solve the mystery and track her down. I believe this is a 90-ish minute story with an event deck that kind of forces the story, railroads the story along every 10 minutes or something like that. This is played entirely via text, no talking whatsoever. Basically, you start a group message, you each change the context of the person's name to immerse yourself in that story, and then you play out the entire game in several different text messages with this person or with the entire group trying to solve the mystery of where is Alice. Not only am I fairly new to RPGs, and I think this is really unique, but also streamlined, and I think that this is something that, because you're doing it over text, I imagine that it's going to be a lot easier for introverted people or people that don't really feel like putting themselves out there in the role-playing world to get more into it. I know that's not different than real role-playing games where you're acting it out, but the facade that you're hiding behind the screen and you don't have to act or say anything physically makes me feel like it's going to be a good game to get people out of their shell if they're not someone who's used to or really excited about role-playing games. So one that I really want to play. Don't know how we could really make a video of it, but I'd be happy to try because it looks absolutely incredible and I really want to try it out. Next on the list is two-player game by One More Time Games and Capstone Games, and that is going to be a RIFTFORCE. This is a two-player dueling game. I know a lot of people see the way that the cards are laid out and immediately think Schottentotten. I've not had a chance to play Schottentotten or RIFTFORCE, so I can't comment on that too much, but I don't believe they're that similar. I can say though, this is getting rave reviews everywhere, across the board. People are loving RIFTFORCE, and it really makes me want to try it out. I just recently played Air, Land, and Sea Critters at War, which is another two-player dueling game. I don't know how or if they are similar at all, but I had a really good experience with that one, and that made me more excited to try out this one. I really like the art. It's very colorful and vibrant, and I'm excited about that. Another one that I really desperately want to table sooner rather than later. And many of these, so far, Kemet and Clank aside, Blitzbowl, RIFTFORCE, Innovation, Arboretum, and Alice is Missing shouldn't be hard to table. I just need to do it. Find the people, find the time, sit down, and go. One I've had for a very long time that my wife and I have opened one time, but just it was too late in the night. We were too tired. It's Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. I really want to play this game, but the more I hear about it, the less excited I am by it. A lot of people complain about Sherlock and the scoring, and other people say, hey, don't worry about that. And I agree, I wouldn't necessarily worry about that. But I also wonder if this is enough of a game rather than an activity. We've played and enjoy Chronicles of Crime series, which I know is not the same at all, but I wonder if that is just going to be better for us for a similar experience. And obviously I won't know till I table it, and I do hope to play it soon. I think this is definitely going to be up my wife's alley. Danielle loves the mystery solving thing, and I think looking through the newspaper and tracking back to particular dates, times, whatever, is really exciting and intriguing. I just don't know if it's going to be one I love, but I'm not getting rid of it yet. We're definitely going to play it at some point, whenever that time may be. If you have any experience with Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, I'd like to see how you feel it holds up today among other detective crime solving games. Now, this is a game that I am incredibly excited for. Maybe the most excited for of any game on this list, and that's largely in part to Jeff and Jamie, or Jeff and Jamie from Foster the Meeple, having recently played the other version and absolutely fell in love, and this is Vast Mysterious Manor. Doolin got me this game as a Christmas gift, I do believe. So almost a full year since I've had it, and I have yet to play it. Reason being, it's gonna be a hard one to teach, a hard one to table. It's asymmetric, so everyone has very different ways to play the game, so it's not like you can teach everyone at the same time. And also, I've heard it doesn't really play well under 3, in particular is best at 4. So it's one that I really want to play. I love the theme, the spooky season theme, absolutely a hit for me. I love the art, Kyle Farron, Leader Games, always a hit for me, but it's just scary. I'm nervous to table it, but I do think I want to make a date of it, plan out a time, schedule a day to play this game with some people. That way it doesn't get overlooked and it doesn't get bypassed, because I think that's how I need to table games. Hey, we're gonna meet this Saturday, we're gonna play Vast, and we're gonna play Alice is Missing. That's what we're doing. So I can learn the rules, we can come in prepared, and we can get that tabled and out of the way. Coming in and just being like, hey, we're gonna play these games doesn't often work that well for us, at least. Next on the list is another game I've had for a very long time, and that is Rap Gods by the board game Brothas. This is a game that I have owned for over a year at this point in time, I believe. One of the first games I bought after I started a YouTube channel, or not necessarily started a YouTube channel, but started getting into consuming the board game hobby a little more. And it's just one that I haven't played, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't think it's a hard game to play. I think it plays fine at 2 from what I can remember hearing. I love the art, I love the production, really well done, and it's really exciting to me. Just haven't done it. It sits there and just gets kind of forgotten about. It's not the cult of the new, nor is it a game that we need to play for coverage. So when I get time to play, it's kind of just to the wayside. I do think this is going to be a hit for me. We just need to find the time to play it. When will that be? I don't know, but I'm going to try and make it a priority to get through these. So what are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, not bad. But how many more do I have left? Next is another one that I'm so incredibly excited for. I think that I'm going to invite our buddy Kyle from our Discord, which you should join if you haven't already. We share it with Foster the Meeple, and it's a poppin' time in there. Everyone's having a blast playing games, Root, BGA, whatever. If you like what we do and you want to check it out, or you just want to join a community of fun and loving people that love board games, check out our Discord. But I want to invite Kyle over because he knows and loves this game, and this is HANSA TEUTONICA, the big box edition. This is the Euroest of Euros, according to Shut Up and Sit Down. And I've also heard many amazing things from Board Game Barrage that love this game, from Kyle, from other people on the interwebs. I am so stoked to play this game. It's the interaction heavy Euro that I think I'm really going to enjoy. I just haven't had a chance to play it. And I bought this before it came out of print because it was reprinted as the big box, sold out after Shut Up and Sit Down's video, and then took forever to come back in stock and is now back in stock. I purchased this before Shut Up and Sit Down's video. I still haven't had a chance to play it. I think it plays best at 4 to 5. You can play it at 3, you cannot even play it at 2. It's one of those that, you know, the higher level interaction requires a higher player count. I do think I'm gonna love it, but it's not one that I easily can get tabled here, at least not with my group per se. And then, you'll be excited or sad to hear this is the last game on my shelf of shame, meaning I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 games on my shelf of shame, which is honestly pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So this is you can't see it, and that's the back of the box. Unfathomable. This game is just releasing. I actually had a friend purchase it for me from Origins so I could try and table it in spooky season in October or early November, but if that's gonna happen or not, I don't know. It's a minimum player count of 3 and probably best at 5 and 6. This is the reskin / small change redesign of Battlestar Galactica with a Cthulhu theme. You're on a boat, you've got a captain, blah, blah, blah. There's a hidden traitor in this game. Really excited for this. Battlestar Galactica was on one of the first videos I made, which is the top 10 board games that I've never played. I was so excited to play Battlestar Galactica, but honestly, I don't have the connection to the theme. It's super expensive, and apparently, even if this one isn't as good, it's a little streamlined, which I'm all about. So the Cthulhu theme was a big hit for me, the price was decent, and just being a little streamlined, I think it's gonna help me get it to the table sooner rather than later. So again, 12 of these, plus Too Many Bones, plus Descent Legends of the Dark. So I guess technically 14. And again, there are some on the shelf that I haven't played yet, but we just received those from publishers or something like that and haven't tried to speak on them yet, haven't had the chance to table them yet. So I don't want to tell you about them until I kind of know more what I'm talking about. You'll see them sooner rather than later. So these are all 12 and 14, including the 2 on the back of the shelf, games that I have yet to play. And I think I'm pretty ecstatic about that. It's not great. I want to play all of these, but I think that looking at the games, they're not all that scary. I think we can do this. I'd love to be able to play all 12 of these, 14 of these by the end of the year. I know Foster the Meeple just did their Shelf of Shame video and made that challenge to themselves to play at least the vast majority of their games by the end of 2021. I would love to do that, and I think it's certainly possible. 2 months plus left in 2021, and honestly, I just need a couple game days, and then the rest I should be able to table with Doolin. I think we can make it happen. Let me know what you want to see first, and what you are most excited about us playing, and what's the one game on your Shelf of Shame that you're most looking forward to tabling yourself. Now, if you want to know the secret to a better game night, and I'll tell you what, it's not these games that I'm buying, it's something a little more personal. Check out this video right here.